Hello everyone and welcome to POV Driving. Today we're out in the woods with the new BMW X5. 3 liters diesel, 265 horsepower and quite some off-road capabilities as well. So, join us on the ride in the new X5 and let's see what it can do on these snowy roads. First thing you want to do is you want to open the door. Nah, I'm just kidding. So, the first thing you notice is it's whole new design interference. You see a new digital display, and we have a new BMW steering wheel. We see the new buttons for the self-driving features, and yeah, just more buttons. But as always, we love the BMW interior. It looks really sporty and cool, and let's just start it off. Yeah, you notice directly it's a diesel coming on, and yeah, if you like diesel, it's quite great actually. Let's just put it in drive. Oh yeah. So this X5 is a car for all weathers and all days. You can drive it on road and off road. You gotta check out our off-road review as well if you haven't seen that yet. And if it's snowing or raining or it's sunny, it doesn't matter for this car. It just flies through it. A little ground data on the X5. It's a 3-liter diesel engine with the twin turbo, combined 265 horsepower. And 0 to 60 in about 6.4 seconds, which is pretty quick. And although it's not the purpose of this car, it's really rapid if you need to. Even if we would have preferred a bigger engine, we can't wait to see this in a X5M. It's got to be crazy. So we have comfort mode, normal driving. It's snowy, and this car has no problems at all with the grip, and the ESP works really great as well. So we feel like we have a lot of power, even if it's bad road conditions. About the price tag on this car, we have a car which has a base price of 640,000 Swedish crowns, which is about, let me guess, $70,000, and that's the base price. But in this car we have a lot of extras, and ultimately we end up at 1 million crowns. But we have this leather premium interior. We have a sunroof, or what you call it. So we had a lot of stuff in here that is making everyday driving better. So one thing you notice as well when you first start driving the X5 is that it feels a little swimmy in low speeds. I don't know if you can understand what I mean by that, but basically it's that you turn but you don't feel the response from the car really. It turns too light, and that's because the back wheels have a turnable axle as well. So if you go on under 50 kilometers per hour, the back wheels will turn as well, giving it a really good turning radius, but feels a little unsteady if you're not used to it. And in high speeds it will also change the way the power is suspended to the wheels. But according to BMW, the standard would be 60% to the back wheels and 40% to the front wheels, as you also feel the power coming from behind. We're just gonna take it out on a little highway as well, so you can see it's one of the best things about this car. It's a business class experience. So you go to, we picked this up in Stockholm and we drove it home, and it was like a really nice experience. And yeah, It doesn't matter how fast you drive. Of course, we stick to the speed limits here in Sweden, which is 120 kilometers per hour. But even if you drive it in high speeds, I heard, wink wink, it's still very comfortable, and compared to other cars, very, very quiet as well. Yo, Rasmus, how many minutes has the video been going?
5:30.
Yeah, okay, 5 minutes in. I hope I'm not talking too much. And now we're about to go on to the... Oh, no. Yeah, you see the ESP working. In Sweden it's called anti-sladd system. That's why I always start saying anti. But in English it's called electronic traction control, or whatever you want to call it. So, now that we're boringly behind a truck, now we can take a quick look at the infotainment system. It's a really, really simple and well-working infotainment system, as you know from previous BMWs. It's always been this way with BMW. It's very simple. We have our own UX design, and we don't connect to Apple CarPlay, which we like. We have the communication channels. It's very simple. You can call BMW Assistance right away, which we needed to do once because we're stupid. Yeah, it's actually a really great infotainment system. And let me just go into the car info. Here we have normal driving data. We have a combined fuel consumption of 8.2 liters per 100 kilometers, which is a little low since we've been eco driving this last hour, and it went a little higher because we went off-roading. So about 9 liters, I would say. 9 liters to 10 liters per 100 kilometers is what you would get if you drive it just normally. So we have a sports display as well. If you put it on sports mode, a cool thing or cool feature about this car is that it automatically adjusts the driver's seat. So if I put it in sports mode, the driver's seat will take me in like a nutshell, and it will make sure that I can push it to the limits without flying around like an idiot. And even if in the slippery conditions, as soon as it picks the right gear, it's a great throttle response, and it just moves away. It's a lot of torque. It's the diesel feeling as well, the diesel experience. One thing I can't show you, it's a pity, is this really great autonomous driving feature that this car has. Now you see, you put it in 90 kilometers per hour, but it needs to see the lines at the right and left. And if you take a look in the infotainment system, it will show you gray lines here. If those lines turn green, the car will be able to drive itself, but not on these conditions. Maybe I'll add it into another video later, so you can see that as well. If you have any questions about this car, feel free to just comment below, and we will make our best to answer it to you. We would say it compares to a Mercedes GLE. It's that kind of size. It's 2 meters high when you stand beside of it. I'm 187, it's bigger than me. And all in all, that's a great feature as well. We like big cars. When you're coming, it's a statement right from the start. Takes a little get used to this infotainment system, but once you know it, it works great. And we're actually a big fan of it, and also of the new digital display that is here in front of us. And of course the head-up display. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but it's not a small head-up display anymore. It's actually really, really big. So you can see the navigation system, you can see the phone, you can see the music you're playing. Everything is right accessible on your screen through augmented reality. It's a great feature, as well as these nearly I forgot to show you this. Let's turn on the radio. I have my phone connected, but let's just do the radio for that sake. So you can maybe hear me a little less now. The music is really high. No, I want to turn it down. What do? Yeah, I push the button, but it tells me no. You can use your finger. And that you do. It feels like you're the chief of an opera and you tell everyone how the music should be played. And if you don't like this radio channel, you just take the next one. Swedish music. It's a party in this car, and it's really easy to quickly access the infotainment system without losing focus on the road. You can dance, you can turn up, you can turn down. It's the future, and it's all about BMW connectivity. And even if we usually say that Tesla is top of the class when it comes to connectivity, this BMW is not far away from it. So thumbs up for BMW and for the connectivity, the great connectivity that we have in this car. Of course, you can connect it to your phone, and you can heat it, and you can beep and flash and everything that you need to do when you're not in the car. Let's just turn down the music. Okay, I'm sorry that we're behind this really boring truck, so let's just go into the wood. Actually, my family home is here. That's where I'm from, and oh yeah, now we got a lot of snow. I'm just glad we're not in a Mercedes A-Class, because I can't imagine performing too well in these conditions. Yeah, no problem. No problem. 70 kilometers per hour, no problem at all. It's easy. We can go a little faster than him, but it's a road where you can go 70, and they drive 50, so. Do you see this road? Isn't it amazing? If you haven't been to Sweden, come visit us, and we promise we'll take you for a ride in one nice car and give you the experience of the Swede. So, let's just try to brake it completely from 70 kilometers per hour. Yeah, it swims. Actually, it's accelerating better than it's braking, which is kind of frightening. The ABS works as good as it can. Thank you for watching this video and supporting POV driving as always. We'll see you in the comments below. Like, subscribe, follow us on Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter, or whatever you want to. You can also come and ring our doorbells if you want. But see you in the next video.